Hello everyone, hope you're all well and thanks very much for all the support. My videos, the likes, the shares and comments. Down along here is a stretch of the huge tent encampments. There's well over 100 tents there, all covered in on the new tent encampment. As you can have a look up towards Easton Street Bridge here from Baggin Street Bridge. Completely barricaded in all the way up. So Dublin is now becoming barricade city as well as tent city. This is just completely out of hand to what's happening down here, because there has been barricades put up outside the International Protection Office on Mount Street. Then it moved up to from Mount Street Bridge up as far as the bridge where the Pepper Canister Church is in Dublin, and now the next long stretch to Grand Canal up as far as Leeson Street Bridge is covered on both sides with barricades, as you can see. And that's the famous statue at the back of it there where somebody's sitting, and Patrick Kavanagh, famous Irish poet, famous he wrote Raglan Road. But this is completely shambolic. It shows the absolutely chaotic response from the Irish political establishment. Over the last week there's been a reduction, or speaking of reductions in payments to Ukrainians coming into Ireland, or people in state supported accommodation, down to €38 and 80 cents, down from €220, and that's people in state supported accommodation. Currently 1 in 5 Ukrainians in Ireland are working. The vast and overwhelming majority are working in low pay service jobs. In Galway, 1 in 2 are working in low pay service and hospitality industry jobs as well. And the European response has been to pursue this war and keep pushing this war rather than looking for peace. Anthony Blinken was in Ukraine during the week, and we've seen the push for a so-called democracy and values when it's nothing of the sort. We've seen the Irish political establishment parroting the same rhetoric when they're speaking about more war and no talk of peace or diplomacy. Now, the Irish Constitution states that we should seek pacific settlements in international disputes, but the Irish government again have bowed down to the European masters by pushing this war and leading to a bigger refugee crisis across the continent of Europe, in particular here in Ireland, where we've taken in a huge amount of Ukrainian refugees as well, not to mention the international protection scandal that's taken place as well, with the sheer volume of people that have come in the last number of months. And even a number of days ago, Regina Doherty, a European candidate for Fine Gael, was speaking about pushing Putin back to his original borders. And again, in the Irish media, there's no mention of the Istanbul peace agreement that was reneged upon, no mention of the Minsk agreements, no mention of all the other issues and the so-called democracy and freedom, when it's anything but in Ukraine, where you see an authoritarian regime. You've seen a regime which has banned political opposition, media, churches, and jailed political opponents as well. And this is what's going on in the name of democracy and freedom, rather than looking for peace. As I said, Ireland, with our constitution, Article 26 states we should be seeking pacific settlements in international dispute. But it's interesting as well, because on the international protection front, the Irish Human Rights and Equality Commission are also taking a High Court challenge about the lack of housing being offered to people coming in international protection. There are estimates that could be up to 30,000 this year that will come in seeking international protection. And the government's latest master plan is relocating many of the people who are here towards Thornton Hall. The Thornton Hall was a site that was earmarked for a prison many years ago, a super prison, because of the archaic nature of Mountjoy and many more of our prisons as well. They weren't able to cater for so many people. And the important context from this and understanding from this is that the Irish government have never used Thornton Hall for any other purpose, not to build public housing for people who are badly in need of public housing. But again, it's a different kettle of when it comes down to bending down to their and bowing down to their globalist masters and their masters in Brussels rather than serving the interests of the people here in Ireland. Because again, Article 6 of the Constitution states that policy should derive from the people of Ireland. And again, the question has to be asked, when was the last time any of us were consulted in the policy of the state? Next to never, I would argue. And in particular, we've seen a huge pushback because of the referendum results. But of course, in Ireland, the Irish political establishment don't want to talk about that, because they were resoundingly and overwhelmingly and comprehensively defeated by the people with that referendum. And the people had enough of their complete and utter nonsense. And this is more of the same nonsense and carnage that they're creating here in Dublin, our beautiful city, and a historical, beautiful part that has been destroyed with the barricades and all the other issues that go with it as well. And this has huge ramifications, as I said, the push by the political establishment and the media in the context of Irish neutrality, because Micheál Martin spoke about the support of Ukraine to say go as far as it takes. Varadkar always said that as well when he was the previous Taoiseach. And we've also heard it from the new incumbent, Simon Harris, who was also a yes man for the European elites and his globalist masters as well. And not to mention the amount of money that has gone into Ukraine as well. Over 50 billion euro from the European budget has been pushed in there as well. And this is going to create more chaos, more war, and drag us towards confrontation. And that's what these absolute psychopaths want to do in European society. And the Irish lapdogs are doing exactly the same by bowing down to their European masters and driving more war rather than standing on an anti-war platform and standing up for Irish neutrality. Because a number of days ago, Sean Clancy is now being appointed as the head of the European Union new military committee, which is a 3-year term, full-time role. It would be in charge of the 27 EU member states. And he's going to depart his position as the Chief of Staff of the Irish Defence Forces next year to take up this position in the European Union and become a 4-star general. Currently he's a 3-star general, so they're going to make him a 4-star general so he can move into this position. And that would have a huge ramifications for Irish neutrality, but also in the context of he will be in control of the European Common Security and Defence Policy. So there we have it. European Union driving towards more battle groups, eroding our neutrality, destroying our economy with the sanctions on Russia, with the higher energy costs and all the other profiteering that's coming from it as well, not to mention the Nord Stream. And yet we have the chaos with the fallout of immigration and the international protection scandal as well that's going on. So be more chaos, more nonsense, and more of the same carnage if we keep the current incumbents in position. And that's why it's crucially important coming up to the new election that more and more people come out and vote for people who are standing up for the interests of the people here in Ireland, ordinary working class people of Ireland, not the rich, not the same status quo, different chairs and moving around chairs in the Titanic to serve the interests of the globalist and European elites as well. We need to stand up and have a policy that is led by the people in our communities, up and down our wonderful country that we're all proud of, but it's becoming, and our city that is becoming barricade city, as you can see all the stretch up along here along the Grand Canal, which on a beautiful pleasant day, which today is, people should be out enjoying our beautiful canal, our beautiful amenities on our doorstep, but they're not because of the political establishments bowing down to their masters, bowing down to the big corporations, bowing down to the bankers, bowing down to the super rich and 1% rather than the interests of ordinary working class people here in Ireland. So thanks for all the support on my videos, really appreciate it. Thanks for the likes, shares, comments, and thanks to everybody who likes my page and follows me and subscribes to me on YouTube as well. As you know, I'll be going to the next local elections coming up on June the 7th, and I met a lot of fantastic people around the local community in my campaign as well. So please spread the word, pass the word around to people in the community, and it's vitally important that people come out and vote for myself on June the 7th in the local area as well, who are standing up for our community and want to bring power back to our communities where people have a say, people are listened to, people are heard, and people are central to our decision making process. That's the sign of a real democracy, not the nonsense we have now with all these top down decisions that ignore the wishes of the vast majority of people in Ireland, with the lack of services and the huge pressure on under-resourced public and social services in our country. We need to bring back power to our communities so we can have a society that serves the interests of our people and the needs of our people. So take care, and I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye bye.